Hi, Neil O'Brien again. We're on to Finance 2, which is markup versus margin. And this is something that come across a lot over the years. I'd ask somebody in business, and it's typically, I suppose, a product business. I'd ask them what their, how they price their products, and they would say, "Oh, I've got a margin of 30%." And I'd ask them then, "Well, how do you work that out?" And they'd say, "Well, I'll take a cost, let's say it's 100, and I multiply by 1.3, gives me a selling price of 130, and a margin of 30%." And I have to say to them, "No, I'm sorry, that is not a profit margin of 30%. That'll probably give you a profit margin of 23%. And then I show them how that is. And I have an example here I'll show you. And the reason this is important is because they're setting their selling price too low, which means their profit is too low. And here's an example I'm going to show you. And here is John. John sells widgets. He wants a 30% margin. And typically the widgets cost 100. So what does John do? He marks it up. He takes 100 and he multiplies it by 1.3 or by 30%. He takes 100, multiply by 0.3 or 30%. So his selling price is 130. He thinks he's got a profit margin of 30%, but actually his profit margin is only 23%. And how is that worked out? A profit margin is where you take the profit of 30 divided by the selling price of 130, gives you 23%. If you want to take out your calculator, you can work it out and just double check that. At this stage, John is a bit nonplussed. I say to John, "That's okay." I said, "Do you want a profit margin of 30%? He says, "Yes, please." And I said, "Well, we'll do up a little formula here. And a spreadsheet is very handy for this. And I'll show you exactly how you can do that." Now, it's a little knacky way of working this out. Okay. What you need to do, if you want a 30% profit margin, what you need to do is you divide the cost by 0.7. So how do I get 0.7? Is whatever the profit margin you want, in this case, 30%, what you do is you take 100% and you take off the 30% margin, which leaves you with 70% or 0.7. You divide the cost by 0.7. So really it's the profit margin you want plus this 0.7 need to equal 100%. You divide the cost by 0.7. I'll show you how this works out in reality. So you just throw this onto a spreadsheet is the easiest thing to do, where John can put in his cost here of 100. You divide the 100 by 0.7, should give you 143. And if you want to grab a calculator or a calculator on your phone, you can work this out. John's profit margin then is 43, so it's 143 minus 143. What is his profit margin? Is you divide 43 by 143 will give you 30% every single time. And what I like about this formula is that if John says he wants a 40% margin, all he has to do is, he might have another product. He's saying, "No, I need 40% on this." So no problem, John. All you do is you can use the same spreadsheet. You key in 100. If you want a 40%, you need to divide your cost by 0.6 and it'll work it out for you automatically every single time. I have another video on this somewhere else. This is what they call a selling price formula. It's brilliant because it'll do the work for you. Once you decide what your profit margin you want is, you just key it in here, it'll work it out. What's really important here though is that John's selling price has gone from 130 to 143. His profit has gone from 30 to 43. He's getting a lot more profit on every single sale. That's actually a 43% increase in his profits, which is very significant. 43% just by calculating a 30% margin versus a 30% markup. Lots more profit, which is good. We all like that. Okay, thanks for listening.